So I thought I'd share kind of the origin of my story and how I started Empower Physical Therapy and how I wanted to kind of change the way healthcare was presented because we're really going down a bad path. I've been a physical therapist for over 20 years. I'm like on 23. I don't even know. It seems like I just graduated yesterday, but I've seen a lot of changes in healthcare, and the changes that are happening now are not good. They're not good for the clients and they're definitely not good for the healthcare providers, which is why you're seeing a lot of healthcare providers move out of the profession, whether it's a doctor, a nurse, physical therapist. You're seeing a lot of people move out of the profession, and it's because of the same reasons why I started this office. I had been with a company for 10 years, basically was kind of like a franchise. And, it was running really smoothly. And yeah, we had to see multiple patients per hour, but then they were starting to add more. Like, you need to see more patients, more productivity. We had to max out our physical therapists, making sure that they literally had as many patients as possible on their schedule, really only to be able to break even, because insurance companies were cutting and cutting and cutting. I mean, every year they cut. And when you have inflation and all these other things, and rent going up and utilities going up and all these things, like, you have to find the money from somewhere. And the answer was, let's see more. And that's what I was told, essentially. So that was happening, and it's really difficult to give really good customer care when you're seeing two and three patients per hour. And we really tried to give people the time and the attention, and we did a good job, but we did it with the expense of our health, like not only my health but my staff's health. Our bodies were falling apart, especially my body. My body was falling apart. I was been going to the doctor trying to figure out what's going on, and they basically summed it up to all the stress of me having to take on so much. So not only were we having to see more patients, but the corporate company was cutting back. So they were like, we need to get rid of office managers and put $13 an hour people in the front. And I'm like, this is crazy to manage all this stuff. So now I'm having to manage them. I'm having to manage them verifying benefits. I'm having to manage another company that is doing the benefits. And it was a mess. It was a mess from the patient's end, because they were getting frustrated, just like I was getting frustrated because they weren't being taken care of. And that's like my huge thing. Like, I just want to take care of people. And we were having to hire more people to manage insurance versus hiring more people to actually have conversations and make it about the people coming in the office. And that's just wrong. If we're having to go and fight for nickels and dimes and having to hire more people to make sure that we're getting paid for our services, that's just not right. And I eventually just was like, I'm done. I can't do this. I was planning on getting out. I didn't want to be a physical therapist anymore. I took 6 months off literally to get my body back. And this is something that, we're seeing more and more. And some of it is, I always, tell my moms that are out there, like, you have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anyone else. And you're not going to be able to serve anyone else in your family very well. So it's really important that you do take care of yourself. And so when I decided that I was just going to start seeing a few patients, that turned into more patients, that turned into more patients, because they really loved our model of being able to spend time with patients. They loved that we were always there, that we could jump on the phone, and that if they had any questions, that they could always get them answered, because they could get a hold of someone at my office. And so we started building it. And then my mission started to be bigger. Like, let me help other PTs do what they love to do, pulling them in, helping mentor them, making them the best PTs they possibly can be, as well as giving them an environment that they're going to thrive in, that this is the reason why they got into healthcare, so that they could actually help clients, and they didn't have to be seeing patients sun up to sundown, that they could actually spend time with their patients and sending out their programs, and not having to take their paperwork home on the weekends, because this is what's happening to doctors. This is what's happening to PTs. Like, it's happening everywhere. Like, the amount of paperwork that we're having to do now because of the insurance and all the systems that are out there that we have to do, it's we're spending more time doing stuff like that. So I really wanted to create an office like that. I got my body back. I felt fantastic. It was one of those things, I learned on how I could take care of myself, that I'm now able to share that with clients, and I can pick up on things where I'm like, ooh, you're about to go down the path that I'm going down. And that's, I mean, this is the reason, like, we want to be that primary care kind of like orthopedic office to really help you avoid the surgeries, the injections, get your life back, understand what you can do, be able to be a resource for people anytime they need a resource. We had a client literally that twisted their ankle, and and we get a message going, you'll not believe what I just did. I'm waiting to see the doctor. I don't know that I can see them for a week. I don't know if my ankle's broken. So we immediately got on the phone with her, and we started asking her questions. And based on those questions, I was like, you didn't fracture your ankle. It should be getting better day by day. You just have an ankle sprain, because there's things that you can determine. So we were able to put her at ease. And day one, right after the injury, on, okay, cool, I have some tips and things that I need to do that she can do until she gets into our office the next week. We had another client that fell overseas, and as soon as she fell, she went to the doctor and overseas, came back and called us immediately. We got on the phone with her, and we started talking her through some of the process, and just giving her more education than what the doctor even gave her, and giving her like, okay, you're going to be fine. This is great. This is, I mean, if you had to have a fracture, this was the best kind of fracture. You're not going to need surgery. And where you had it is not as bad of a location as some other areas. And so we were able to get on the phone day one instantly to really help her guide through that process. And that's why we got into healthcare. As healthcare professionals, we want to help people, and we want to be an environment where we can help people, and it's not just, going and blowing 100 miles an hour to try to get everything done that you have to get done, on top of seeing all the clients that you have to see in order to make sure that your doors stay open. And so that's the reason why I started this business. I started it so that I could actually spend time, because honestly, if you can spend time with patients and having a conversation, you can save people a lot of time. We don't see people for 15, 20, 30 visits. Our average is around 8 visits, and it's because we can spend time, we can teach you what you need to do, and we can understand what's going on. We also can understand when there's an emotional component, and we need to send you out and refer you out to someone that might be able to help with that piece of it. Because if you don't get to the source of what's going on, you're not going to solve the problem. And there can be other aspects other than orthopedic physical aspects that can kind of create your pain as well. And we look at all those things. You can have autoimmune type conditions that can kind of create pain, and we understand what that looks like and how to navigate that conversation, and understanding what's going on, and as well as giving them resources that's going to help them solve their problems. Because if anyone's had autoimmune conditions, they know they go to doctors, they get all the testing, everything comes back normal. They think that they're just, crazy with all these symptoms, but you're just exhausted and tired and bloated and not getting sleep at night and wondering what is going on. And these are common things that you find with autoimmune type conditions, but we can get you to people that can actually help you in solving those problems. And so that's why I created this business, because I really, I mean, oh my God, the amount of people that come to us that have been to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different healthcare providers, and that they're able to get a solution by coming into us, because we can actually have that conversation and figure things out, understand what's going on. Because I always say, where the side of the pain is often not where the source of the problem is coming from. So we've got to figure out the puzzle and get you back to living life. And it's possible. We've had people walk out the door saying, I lost hope until I came into this office. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why we do healthcare the way we do it, so that we can teach you and guide you through the process and really help you navigate what you need to do to get you back to feeling great and doing all the things that you want to be able to do. So that's the story. I mean, that's why I created this business, and it started to get beyond me to where I could actually help others do very similar things, and creating the life that they want to create, and have fun coming into work and actually treating patients and having the time to spend with them. And it's great. I mean, I always tell people that if I had to go back to the way it was, I would basically quit and be a plumber. That's what I would do. That's how bad it is. And so anyone listening to this, then you can hear it and you can see like what happens when you go and you're seeing doctors and they're not able to spend time with you, and they're just whether they're rude or short or whatever, man, they're just going through the same thing that I was going through. And they're probably, just as frustrated with the system as you are. And so we've got to make some changes, but I don't see our healthcare system changing anytime soon. So it's got to start with thinking a different way and doing healthcare in a different way. And honestly, if we can avoid surgeries and injections and you having to go doing MRIs and all those things, we can save you thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Because I mean, surgery these days are, $80 to $100,000 to do a surgery. Like, it's crazy. But if we can help you avoid that and feeling great, then that's what we do. And we probably only send maybe 4 to 5 patients per year to surgery. Because we're not totally against it. If it's needed, we need to do it. But it's definitely you're definitely able to avoid it if you at all costs. It is possible. We see it all the time in our office when doctors say that this is just what they have to do is surgery and that's your only option. We're able to help them get back without having that surgery. So anyway, that is my story. That's the origin. Thank you guys for listening. We have a ton of resources. If you check in the description, you'll see some great resources down below from different books that we have that can help solve some problems for you, whether it's back pain, neck pain, knee pain, at least get you on down the path to understanding kind of what's going on and giving you some simple solutions that you can get started with. So definitely go into the description and take a look at that. And we will see you later.